I had always thought that love meant trust, that devotion meant knowing someone so deeply that their happiness became part of your own. Her name was Nadia, and for years I believed she was mine, not just in title, but in heart and loyalty and every unspoken promise we shared. I was wrong. It started subtly, almost imperceptibly. A laugh here, a smile there, a glance at her phone that made me pause. At first, I told myself I was imagining things. She's just reading a funny message, I reasoned. Nothing more. But then I noticed the frequency, the way her phone buzzed at odd hours, the way she would hide it, quickly lock the screen when I walked into the room, the little excuses, the tiny hesitations in her voice. I ignored it because I wanted to trust her. I wanted to believe that love meant believing. I wanted to believe that we were unshakable. Then came the day that changed everything. She smiled at her phone. That alone would have been harmless if it weren't for the way she smiled, the way her eyes lit up, the way her fingers danced across the screen, sending messages I was never meant to see. I didn't know what to feel at first. The smile was small, subtle, but it carried something enormous, a happiness that wasn't for me, a joy she was hiding in the corners of our life. I tried to convince myself again. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe it was nothing. But my gut screamed the truth I wasn't ready to accept. I glanced over her shoulder when she wasn't expecting it, and there it was. Messages, conversations, flirtations, laughter shared privately, smiles sent secretly, every word a knife in the heart, every emoji a reminder that the love I believed in wasn't mine alone, the peace I had taken for granted, my sense of calm, my trust, my certainty shattered in that instant. I confronted her. Her eyes widened, her smile faltering. "It's nothing, just friends," she said, voice unsteady. "You're overthinking." But I wasn't. I hadn't been overthinking. The signs had been there all along. The hidden laughter, the secret joy, the way she smiled at her phone instead of at me. It wasn't just a phone. It was a window into a part of her heart she no longer reserved for me. The following days were unbearable. I replayed the moment over and over in my mind. Every smile, every late night conversation, every small gesture. Was it all a lie? Had I been blind for so long, or had she been careful enough to hide it perfectly? Anger came first, a hot, consuming rage that made it hard to breathe. Then sorrow, deep, hollow grief that filled every quiet moment. And then slowly clarity. I realized this wasn't about my worth. It wasn't about my value or my love. It was about her choices, her inability to respect the trust I had placed in her. Her secret joy, hidden in a smile at her phone, reflected her priorities, not mine. I had two choices: succumb to the heartbreak, let it define me, let it poison my life, or rise above it and reclaim my peace. I chose the latter. I focused on myself. I poured energy into my passions, my work, my friends, and my own growth. I rediscovered parts of myself that had been lost in the haze of love and trust. Every step forward became a small act of liberation, proof that her actions could not control my life. Months later, I saw her again. She smiled, maybe expecting regret, maybe expecting me to be hurt, maybe longing for my attention. But I felt nothing. No anger, no longing, no grief, just clarity. I had survived the betrayal. I had healed. I had grown. Her smile at her phone had cost me peace. Yes, but losing it, reclaiming myself, and walking away with strength gave me something far more valuable: freedom. Some smiles hide secrets. Some messages hide truths. Some betrayals are silent, subtle, but devastating. Her smile at her phone broke my peace, but it didn't break me. It became the moment I realized that peace, trust, and happiness must come from within. They cannot be held hostage by someone else's choices. I had loved completely, trusted fully, and given my all. And now I gave myself the life I deserved, untouched by her secrets, unshaken by her smile, and unbroken by her choices. Her smile at her phone had taken my peace, but in the void it left, I found strength, clarity, and freedom. I learned something vital. Happiness and peace cannot depend on anyone else. Trust is fragile, but resilience is yours to claim. Betrayal can wound deeply, but it can also awaken strength you never knew existed. She smiled at her phone, and I lost my peace. And in losing it, I found myself.